One of the most important topic which is now being discussed across the global news media network is on SCO, which refers to Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Why this news has become such a relevant topic for global media? Probably because it is acting as one of the counter to the Western-led, or specifically speaking, US-led hegemony over the global diplomacy. So, Shanghai Cooperation Organization dates back to late 1990s when there was basically the meeting of five countries, namely China, Russia, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan. They all came together and discussed on their internal border disputes. Because if we see in the map, all these countries are interconnected. So naturally, they will have the border disputes, and they discussed and deliberated on this for number of times, and somehow these meetings were successful, which eventually led to the formal launch of SCO in somewhere in June 2001. And after 25 years, we all witnessed this mega event in Tianjin, one of the city in China, one of the seventh or eighth largest city in China, where we witnessed more than a dozen countries coming together and showing the power of South Bloc. Currently, we have 10 formal members of SCO, which basically are China, of course, then Russia, India, Iran, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Belarus, and a few more. Now, of course, as you would be aware, Russia, India, and China are the top three powerhouse, the big brothers of SCO. They are the top three economies. So overall, SCO represents around 25% of global GDP and approximately 40 to 45% of world's population. That's a huge. Now, they had a lot of discussions, bilateral and together. They came across on common wall to discuss about some of the common topics which interest everyone. So some of the key discussions were: number one, on the security cooperation, that how each countries can cooperate each other against the threats from terrorism and security related concerns. Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi ji also highlighted the you know gruesome terrorist attack which we all witnessed recently in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam. And in general, the member countries discussed how to share the joint exercise and have a coordinated effort to share the intelligence. So let us positively hope that going forth we will see much structured approach in fighting against these external threats. The second important topic which was discussed and deliberated in SCO summit was on the technological cooperation and the use of artificial intelligence and digital economy. India, of course, spearheads, or India is the flag bearer basically of digitalization. China is a technological powerhouse, so all the countries discussed how we can ethically use AI, and we have an equal opportunity among members and sharing of the information. The third important topic which was discussed and which was in everyone's interest, especially at this time where we are seeing tariffs being imposed by US President Donald Trump. So the topic was on trade and economic integration. In fact, Chinese Premier Xi Jinping, he also proposed the setting up of a SCO bank, just like India has a Reserve Bank of India. For global economies, we have IMF. So there was a bank proposed called SCO Bank, and he also suggested that he will support by approximately 280 million dollar of initial fund for the help to the member countries. So I think it's a big step, but we have to see how all the countries come together and discuss about the barriers on trade which generally countries face in exporting their goods from their domestic economy. One of the other notable thing from this SCO summit was the acronym, the definition which was given by our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, on the meaning of SCO. So SCO he acronymed S as security, C as connectivity, and O as opportunity. And then of course he emphasized the need for coming together against terrorism, which talked about security, and then connectivity. Basically, he specifically mentioned about the Chabahar port, which India has tremendously helped to Iran in setting up the Chabahar port and ensuring the international north-south transport corridor, which could be an alternative to the traditional trade routes. Similarly, in the opportunity, basically, Mr. Modi spoke about the importance and power of youth and empowerment under the SCO umbrella. So there are a lot of opportunities to harness from these areas. So overall, it was a great exemplification of group of South Bloc countries which will not act as a counter but as a strong voice against the hegemonistic policy of West, which some member countries felt. So what we have to see is, despite of these positive developments, how each countries continue to collaborate and coordinate on the key elements despite their internal differences, because some of the member countries have their own internal differences, like China and Japan, of course India and Pakistan, and so on. So what is good to see is that these developments continue for a long time and we see a true multipolar world. Thank you.